a walking enigma given form, a mystery made flesh, the commander of light and darkness, the wyvern of the stars, and butterfly princess? Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome today, because I want to talk about Estrellian. Yes, indeed I do, because I think that he's, well, a bit of alright. And you know what? I thought he was a bit of alright, like 3 years ago now, as did Cotton. Look at him, like, is that not weird? Oh, little insect wings coming out
I don't even know
everywhere.
if I would say weird. He's fucking awesome.
He is really cool looking, he is. Why is that? Well, he is from the now, of course, long doomed Monster Hunter Online. There was a lot of good in that game, there was a lot of bad in that game. We're not here to judge it, but we are here to talk about its most iconic original monster. This is Estrellian. A question mark, much like Gore Magala, Elder Dragon in frame of course, but of a certain mysterious origin. Feathered with insect-like wings, dragonfly decoration, all the rage, where he is from, and that from is the Ether Lake. Quite the beautiful locale, and one that you wouldn't want to go wandering through unprepared. Most notable for its underground caverns of light, of lush flora and fauna amidst the sparkling gloom. Now you're probably sat there like, are we just not going to address the butterfly princess thing? The fuck, man? And you know, that's fair enough. Let's address that. Dear Estrellian. No, okay. He is known as the Star Wyvern, but he also has another title, the Princess of Light and Darkness, which is an intriguing title, is it not? The butterfly comes from his preferred method of combat, because he puts Zenoga's bug symbiosis to shame, as he does have a good old-fashioned partnership with star butterflies. These are perhaps even more fascinating creatures than the dragon itself. They glow and sparkle with power, they have flame within them, they are massive, and their wings themselves are hard like iron. This projectile attack is him launching a butterfly with his tail, it folding in and turning into a like Seregios-esque scale impact embed into the ground. That is, and I don't mean to exaggerate here, really bloody cool! And he can use these star butterflies in a variety of ways across the variety of forms that he has. So let's give him a quick once over, shall we? Good head, yeah, alright, the chest, bit of a glow, that's fine. Kind of a mess of wings on the back, but I kind of dig it. Down to the tail, yeah, I do like the little tip he's got going on. Oh, is that not what you expected? Sorry, I just wanted to, you know. I just want you to laugh at me! Anyway, so, Estrellian and the star butterflies. Initially then, they flutter around the fight, and he has a kind of rather lethargic physical moveset to engage you with. But eventually, he will get the star butterflies to nestle onto him, to lock up and become armor plates. This will slow him down, but it'll also make him unimaginably... Apparently, I struggled to say the word unimaginably without sounding like a dog chewing a toffee. Make him unimaginably harder to damage. In this armored mode, he'll also fling them at you like sharp spears, and then they return back to him, replenishing his ammunition, as it were. He's also able to absorb their energy. That's what's give him this glow that you can see through his chest and parts of his body, this orange lines of power. Very much how like Zenoga charges from the Fulgur bugs. And while he is armored, while he's not too upset and thinking clearly, he can use the star butterflies to literally get down Mr. President him and block projectiles before they connect with him. Imagine being on a bow or a gunner or launching something and seeing a butterfly leap out in front of it, blocking it and knocking it out the air. you'd be like, God damn it, but you'd also be like, well, that's pretty neat, isn't it? Because it is pretty neat. Eventually, though, you'll push him further and further, and he'll get very, very upset, and that's when he enters the mode of wings, as we'll call it. Now, instead of butterfly shells giving him armor, it's the wings that give him this adorning of a frill, and it gives him an appreciable boost to speed and power at the cost of defense. Now his physical assault will increase massively, and at this point he will lose his protective side when it comes to his butterflies, and he will launch them at you as little mini insect-based suicide bombs that explode in fiery wrath when they get to you, and this hurts a lot. Like a lot. And there is a lot of butterflies, so you can imagine how intense this gets. When out of combat, though, Estrellian tends to be quite passive. It's not the most territorial. It likes to be a recluse in its grove and its cave, and is happy to let, well, passers-by pass by. It only needs to be properly tickled. Tickled? Why did I go with tickled? I wanted like a word like angered, and I went with tickled. If you tickle this dragon, it will get very, very upset, and it will go quite literally all out to destroy whatever irked its ire. So as you can see, yeah, this guy really is quite fun. He is an apex predator. He is, let's be honest, an elder dragon, though not technically classified as one, and the Hunters Guild are very, very interested in them because, of course, they are very, very curious, especially their symbiosis with these star butterflies that almost are like living little energy balls with wings. It will use the butterflies to hunt as well as fight, and in exchange, it protects the butterflies as a sort of pseudo-host for them, both coming to the aid of the other. Again, very much Zinogre and its Fulgur Thunder bugs. And most weirdly, Estrellian, for reasons unknown, like to randomly venture out of their solitude and appear in random territories at certain times of the seasons. This would be a good little in to explain why they're suddenly appearing in a mainline Monster Hunter game. And that's kind of what I'm angling here. I mean, is the idea of a half-insect, half-dragon with this swarm assault not actually kind of really neat? It's really sort of something I want, and while I think it can be refined, I think it can be done a little bit better. I think he looks a little bit weird with his dragonfly chic, but at the same time, I really love the idea of a half-insect dragon. Basically, Astalos is an elder dragon, that kind of vibe, because Astalos is, of course, a flying wyvern, but he is sort of half dragonfly in how he looks and how he functions, but taking that up to 11 and giving a monster a insect symbiosis with actual, much more massively threatening insects, because Zinogre launches balls of lightning at you in a circle, and that's supposed to be the Fulgur bugs, but he doesn't really directly use them on you. He uses the lightning they give him, he charges up, but actually having a monster throw like sharp butterflies at you that then explode, that swarm at you, that fly back to him, that land on him and give him protection like a flying Khonshu strike force is actually horrifying now that I say it like that. Is, to be fair, apart from horrifying, rather brilliant. And I think Monster Hunter Line has a couple monsters like that, and perhaps we'll go over those too if it's something that you guys would like. And having said all this about Estrellian, now it's time for the kicker, the plot twist. You see, this monster is actually a juvenile. Oh my god! It is the baby form of an unknown elder dragon. Yeah, it really is the Gortu Ishagaru of its species. What it turns into is unknown. It's not actually a monster as of yet. But is that not a little bit exciting? Is that not a little bit, ooh, okay, full-on, massively powerful, upper-tier, insect hybrid dragon, elder dragon, yes please, end boss maybe, question mark? That's something that I think is very fun to imagine. There is a couple of other forms of Estrellian. There is Doom Estrellian, which is your classic take the base monster, turn it up to 11, change the color to something else striking, and jobs are good and give it a bigger, more expanded moveset. That is this purple boy, and he is rather cool too. We also have Arbiter Estrellian, which is a dragon twist on him, and he is also rather fantastic. fantastic. Obviously, it's different flavors of butterfly that go with him, though Arbiter gets a bit of a different physical form too. As this one, when angered and gets its butterfly wing form, the wings are flaming wings, as they're much fierier butterflies, and it looks like he does have a cloak of flames. And with how much he beats down this monobloss, you kind of get an idea for just how powerful he can become. So yeah, I wanted you guys to have a little introduction to Estrellian here, because I do think there is a lot to like about him, and more than that, I just think he's a cool, fascinating monster, and I love talking monsters, laws, and their implications going forward in the Monster Hunter universe we know and love. For now then, let me know what you think. Of course, would you like him, or are you kinda cold on half insect, half dragon? And of course, like if you did enjoy this, subscribe for more, and consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below. It does keep us going, and it does mean the absolute world. Thank you. Until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.